Same thing, I am taking the data from the Excel and one of the data set from the SQL server also, like from the MySQL. I'm directly here. We have an option. Yesterday, what we had done is in the Power Query editor, we have taken the data, right? Now we will take from here. Here you can go to get data and you can select this Excel, or you will have direct option for Excel here itself. You can click anyway. Now I am taking this Excel data set again. Now the same Excel file which just now I have shared this file also with you. Okay, I am selecting the same sheets which we wanted. Product, users, returns. Okay, here we have the two options, right? When we have loaded the data from the Power BI desktop, we will get two options like load and transform. When you click on the load, the data will be loaded into the Power BI desktop here itself. When you click on the transform, it will go to the Power Query editor. Later, we'll do any manipulations if something required, and we'll close and apply the changes. Now, when I click on this transform data, anyway, we need to go to transform data. Okay, now here, after coming here, yesterday which we discussed is about the data source from individually from where the data is coming, how to change the data source from one Excel to another Excel, and later on we have seen that from one data source to a different data set. I will explain you that once again today. Now for each of the sheet from where to find out the data source, you can click on the setting icon at the source for each of the table. Just you can click on this source icon. Here you will have that particular path from where the data is getting in. Okay, and apart from that, you can directly change the data set name also. If you want, directly you can this one. Go to the advanced editor, you can change that also. Where we can change the sheet, right? Now in the source step, just we are loading the Excel data set. Later we are filtering out. Now once we have loaded the data set, we are selecting that particular info, right? What we want to be which sheet we want to have taken. That step will be created in the navigation. See, once the data is loaded, which we are selecting. Now here in case I am taking the customers, right? That is what navigation is doing. You can see here in the navigation step, item equal to customers. That is what happening. So it is coming like this. For example, if I have taken anything other, even for that also the source step will be same because we are taking everything information from the sales rate only. But in the navigation, we are changing that item in the sense the one which we are selecting for here. Here we are taking the product. In this way, you can change this. Here also you can directly change the code and you can load it. Any doubts? I will take the source from the SQL and I will just tell you how to change the data source from SQL also. Later we'll continue. Okay. Now I am connecting to SQL database. The same, you can click on the new source or anyway we recently connected, right? It will have here also. You can directly click here. This is the SQL database and this is the my SQL server. This is the MySQL. Yesterday I have loaded something. Now I am going to SQL database, MySQL database. Okay, I am taking data from MySQL and just we need to enter the server details as well as the database name. You remember this option, right? Yesterday, which we discussed. Directly, you can run the SQL query in this statement. And then instead of selecting that particular tables or the information what we want, directly, whatever the query is resulting the data, that we will get directly. Now in this case, I am not writing any SQL query. Directly, I am loading the information from the tables. Okay, just I am taking customers and products. Yeah, now when you click see the data source settings, here you have two data sources, like from the Excel as well as from the MySQL database. Now, if I want to change source from one data source to another data source, we don't have direct option. For that, what we are doing is now think that customers is the table which we have taken already from the Excel. Later on, we want to change the data source from customers Excel to from the MySQL database. At that time, what you can do here, this case, I have taken the information from the SQL server, MySQL. Now here, this is coming from the Excel. Directly when you click on this gear icon and you want to change the source, it will ask only for these are the options when you want to change the data source. You don't have the SQL database, right? For that, you can come here and whatever the steps or navigations, everything is displaying here in the backend. mQuery language will be created automatically. You can take this code up and you can paste the same code in the customers itself. So that what happened, the code will be completely changed to SQL database. Then automatically now see, when you are seeing this customers, you can when you click on the source, now this data is coming from the MySQL. This is how we need to change the data source from one data source to another data source. Not only for this one, even for the remaining also. If you are taking SQL, SQL Server, Azure or anything, when you are loading up this information, if you want to change the data source from one data source to another data source, you should follow like this. First, you need to load up. Later, you can do this advanced editor code and you can copy paste it. Directly, you can change data source from one source to another source. This is how. Okay, and later we have seen this one, right? Enter data. This is like an static one where you can directly enter this information here itself, but this will not refresh or anything until unless we need to change the data source here itself. Otherwise, the data will be like the same. It will not change anymore. Normally, we'll create in some of the times, like when we are creating the pseudo tables where the data is no more to change or for any order, something like that. We'll create the enter data just for the reference and we'll give the proper relationship between them. Then it will work. Okay, now data source settings anyway we have seen, right? Like the number of data sources, and later we can change the data source from one data source to another data source. And you can change the credentials also, or if the later the credentials has been changed for the data sources. Okay, any doubts in this? The yesterday's one, we'll continue for the remaining now.
Naren, enter data. For example, we can say that if we have a small data set and anyone asks to visualize those data, so we can use individually enter data. By doing this, we can present, right?
No, if they have given the Excel sheet, like if they given the Excel sheet for the visualization, directly you can load the data source. But
Okay.
if they want to see, in few cases, normally what we do is when we enter the data, anything here, it will
Mhm.
be like the static one only. It will not refresh because here we are not taking the data source from any Excel or SQL, right? This is directly we have created the manual table here. So when you have changed any data, we need to come to here, Power Query Editor and this table, then only you can modify the data whatever we have here. So that's why normally in real-time scenarios, we will not use this table as the data source. Normally, if I have the Excel file directly, I can copy paste this information here. Okay. For example, here It will take one example.
So it will be a totally manual work.
Yes, yes, yeah, totally manual work. Now see, now I am taking this information and pasting here. Okay, and think that this is also users. Anyway, I already loaded the users. Just for users one, I am taking. Okay, now here I have created this users. This is coming from the source, like from that Excel file, the one which I opened now. And this is created by manual. Okay, now later on, if the new user came, or for that, see here we have the manager for known what, this is Pat, right? Now I am changing this one to known what also William. Now I am saving this Excel file. Now when I refresh this data, in the users one, for known what also it is showing the pad, because this is created in the directly in the Power BI itself. This is the manual one, but in the users you can see it. One second, I will refresh this also. See, for known what, it is coming as William, because this is dynamically connected with that particular Excel sheet or the data source anyway. Now in this case, we are taking from this Excel. Normally in our real-time scenarios, we'll go for the SQL or anything live connections. Whatever the data is happening in the backend, automatically it will reflect here. But in the entire data which we have created manually, right? So it is not gonna change. At that time, if you want to change manually, you need to come here again, and you need to manually filter, enter that information. Like now, here I can copy this and paste. Then only it will be reflected here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how. For that only, we will not use any entered like manual tables for real time. We'll go for manual tables when it is for any sorting information or any like the static one, because they will not completely change. For example, in some cases, what they will give is they will give for each mapping. For example, normally we will do in the Excel, right? I think that we have the customer IDs and the customer names. In the future, also for that particular customer ID, the customer name will be like the exact name. Later on, it will not change. For that, we can take that also from the Excel, or directly we can paste this information, because this is not gonna change in the future, right? So we will maintain here itself. That is only. Otherwise, we will not maintain anywhere. In the real time scenarios, we will not use these static files until for sorting or creating any pseudo tables. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Now I am deleting this one. This is the manual table which we have created. Okay, and this is the data source. These parameters I will tell you later. Now, okay. Now when I click on here, refresh preview also yesterday we have seen, no, like for refreshing the data. Here also you can click it. Anyway, here also you can click refresh preview, in the sense that particular table will be refreshed. Refresh all, in the sense all the tables will be refreshed. And the properties, in the sense like the same thing. When you click on the right click, you are seeing these multiple options, right? The same. Just you can rename, enable road, including the report refresh. I will tell you these two options. Anyway, you click on right click, then also you are getting these two names, right? Just I will explain you later. This is what is enable load and include report in the refresh. This will be helpful when we are working with multiple tables, larger tables. Then these two will be helpful. And understood about this one, duplicate and reference, yesterday which we seen. Duplicate in the sense like completely it will duplicate the information what we have. Reference in the sense from one table, from this parent table, it will create the child table, so that whatever the changes is happening from the customers table to the sub table which we have taken from the reference, only that changes will be applied. But what we have done in the reference table, those changes will not reflect into the customers. Duplicate in that sense, just duplicate. Later on, we can manipulate everything what we want. There will be no relationship between both of them in the duplicate. Okay. Yeah, those steps we have seen here. When the delete in the sense, directly it will delete up the information. Okay. Now choose columns. Choose column in the sense, now here in this case we have only 5 to 6 columns. Uh, in few of the cases, we'll have more than, yeah, even I saw in my few reports, I have more than 100 columns also in particular. Now, if I want to go to particular one column, you here we don't have search option for that column. Okay, now then you can go for the choose columns. I will tell you choose columns. For now, go to column. Just for searching what we want. Here we will have list of things. Just if you want to search for MSRP, right? Just type MSRP and click OK. It will directly navigate to that MSRP column. See, now it is navigating me to directly MSRP column. For that only that go to column will be helpful. Other than that, nothing is there. And choose column in the sense, now here I have different columns, right? Now if I want to ignore any of them, I have this now in my products table I have 11 columns. If I want to delete anything directly, you can delete it here also. Now if I have removed this one, you can remove it. Okay, even the same option is available here. Here, what do you need to do? You want to select the columns which you required. If you unselect them, then it will be removed. Here, I am keeping, just I am removing the product scale for now. Just when I click on this option, see, only the table, the one which I have selected, right, the product scale, only that has been removed in this step. Now, when you come to the navigation, you will have it. But after removing this particular step, then only it is visible. Only that is the option. Here in the choose columns, go to column is for navigation. When you want to search the columns, choose column in the sense, it will keep the columns which you required and delete the columns which are not required. Even the same here also the same thing. Remove columns. Remove column. Now I am selecting this column. When you click on the remove column, it will directly delete this column. Okay. And if you click on other columns, other than this product scale, everything will be deleted. Understood? These two. Here you can select the particular thing like normally which we select when we are doing the filter, right? Normally we will select what we want, the same option, and this is for the search. And this is for the removing options, removing the columns. Okay. Now here keep rows. Now if you want to do anything like see, here I am keep top rows, keep bottom rows, keep, this is also for removing rows only. Now see, keep top rows. Here it will ask you how many rows to be kept. Now here I have almost 110 rows, right? I am just giving 5. It will remove other rows and keep only the 5, the first loaded rows. But this will be a manual process because which I have taken the first rows. Normally, in the real-time scenarios, 99% we will not go like this. If you want any information to be filtered out, for example, in the product line, if you want only motorcycles directly, we will filter out here. We will not go by row because now in this case we are getting this information as the first. We thought that only this information is required, but later it will keep on adding the information, right? Then if the data first row is something different, then what the required information is gone to next row, then what happen, that information will be deleted and whatever the first row is coming from the data source, only that will be reflected. For that only we will not use these two because these two are completely static, so we will not go for these two options. Okay, and here these options, right, keep duplicates, keep errors. Here we don't have any errors right now. I will tell, one second, we'll see how to create error now. Here any combination of text and product. text and whole number or decimal number, then we can figure out that issue. See here it is showing right valid 100%, no errors. If there is any errors in this particular column, it will show up error. Okay, we are in the critical orders. No, 1 second. Right. Order ID we have. Here we are taking as data type whole number. Okay, now I am taking this, just I am refreshing because those changes will not reflect here until we refresh it. Just I am refreshing. What is that order ID? Row number 2635. Just I am filtering out for that now. What happened? A is not coming. I have loaded this information from sales dataset only. Downloads test folder sales dataset. And later this one is, yeah, here only.
Nagendra, I think we need to save Excel file
Yeah,
also.
yeah, that is what. See, now here we are getting error because earlier I didn't save it for that only. Smith. Now see, for 2635 we are getting error now because what
Right.
happened? It is asking the data source. Now before filtering, here we have this information. Now see, uh, here valid is okay, error is less than 1% because only two of them are errors, right, in the whole thing. Why this error is coming is because here we have all the numbers, right? So we have taken that one as, here the data type is whole number. But what happened in this case, this is the text. So here we have changed the data type as whole number, right? For that it is showing the error. Then we can change this data type to text so that the error will be gone because anyway the numbers will be supported. Now this everything is gone, right? 1 second. This will go up anyway. This, see, now it will come as 100% because now we have taken this order as order ID data type as text so that the information, the error is gone. But when you take to the whole number, right, this A and this one is not supporting in the whole number, for that it is showing the error. At that time cases, directly what you can do, let me change again back to the whole number. Okay, now here you can directly remove rows. Directly, if you click on the remove errors, right, this complete columns will be deleted. Normally, in the real time scenarios, we will not do like that because we need to change the data set, data type only. Because if you have click on that particular remove errors, what happened? That complete row will be deleted, whatever the information we have. Just the solving, we can change the data source. Normally, we will change the data type to fix out the error and to figure out the issue. Then only we will, normally we will do that. We will not remove that particular errors because that information is going out, right? So we should not do like that. For now, in this case, just I am clicking the remove errors. Earlier, see, now those two rows are gone, deleted. That's it. Even this one also, both of them are same like the key pros and everything. Any doubts in this? We'll continue the next one. Okay, let me manually do that. Okay. Okay, these two just for the key pros, keep errors, everything. Remove duplicates, we'll check it. Now the split column, this is the most used one in the real-time scenarios as even here also. Like what we have in the delimiter, right, in the Excel. Uh, Here I have the customers. If I want to segregate the name, here for that only I have taken into the comma. If I want to split the name, normally what we will do here, just we'll go to the data, text to columns, and we'll give the delimited only, and here we are providing the comma where we need to separate the data by using the comma. It will create as new column for that data set, right? Now the first name and the last name is separated. The same option we have as here, the same split column. Now we will do for the same here. Okay, this one we have changed the data source. No, okay, no problem. Here we will take in the customer name, we are segregating the first name and last name by the delimiter space. Okay, now click here, split column. Here we have multiple options. By delimiter, in the sense you can provide the particular symbol like space, column, or any symbol directly you can type it. Number of characters, in the sense it will be manual process. Like if I have given the 5 characters, it will split the only 5 characters. It will be like the position, which position you want to select. Directly you can type the number, and here lower to upper, this is about the just the formatting only, like lower cases, upper cases, digit to digit, non normally we will use the delimiter only, because every time we will get like this only, right? Now in this case I want to split the name. Anyway, we have the first name and last name, just we will reference, I am taking this one, split column by delimiter. Now see, here by default it is identified as the space. Otherwise you can enter. These are the most used one. For that it is showing directly. If there is any extra special character, you can come to custom and you can directly type the special symbol like at the rate, anything what you want, underscore, something like. Now in this case, space is enough. Now here leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter, each occurrence of the delimiter. It is in the sense like here in this case, in the 8-layer graphic, we are getting only one time is the space. Anyway, it will split each occurrence. It will split the first name and last name. But in this case, when I have taken this option, right, each occurrence of the delimiter, what it will do, it will change this name as to 3 columns like signal, gift, stores. It will come as 3 rows. If I have used the leftmost delimiter, then what will happen here in this case? Signal will come as the first name, gift stores will come as the second name. These two will come. If I have used the rightmost, signal, gift will come as the left name and stores will come as the right name. This is the difference between both of them, how you want to do. Now in this case, I am taking the leftmost only. Wherever we have, see in this case we have 3, here we have 4, so that it will create the 4 columns. And now I don't want to do like that, just I am clicking the leftmost. See, automatically the column name is identified, customer name 1, customer name 2. See, earlier we have the 8-layer graphic, signal, gift stores, right? Now based on our requirement, this is automatically splitted. Any doubts here? Okay, we'll see one more example. Now I am going back to the same steps, just the original one. Now, okay, just we'll go with comma or something like that. This one, what is this? Okay, this is normal one, right?
Nagendra,
Ah,
it will take at the rate
yeah,
or
it will take at the rate. See, that only. Now you can directly type any character you want. One second, we will for this again. I will take this data from the here itself. Here I have taken the comma, right? I will put comma instead of at the rate. We will try for that. Now my data set is everything is at the rate. Let me load this one, because earlier I have changed the data source from this equal to Excel to that. Again I will load the same. I'm taking these customers. Any character, any symbol, you can directly type it when you take the custom, right? Now see here, we have this one. I'm going to split column, delimiter. See, it is automatically identified. If you want to directly type also, you can see now I am just entering the underscore. Like this, whatever the option, you can directly type it, no problem. It is automatically identified. Now when you click on here, it is taking each delimiter. Okay, no problem. Now see, 3 times created because there may be some cases where we have the middle name also. So that's why it is created 3 columns. For that only, the we have used the option is each occurrence, right? Wherever the at the rate is identified multiple times, every time it will be splitting. For that only, earlier case I have used the leftmost. Then what happened? Only the 2 rows will be created. Understood? Okay. I am deleting this one again. Okay, the next option is split column we have seen just for splitting the information only. In the real time also it will be mostly helpful when you are getting the names like this. Next thing is group by. Group by in the sense like when we are working in the information. mm, See, I have these many rows. This is the total information I want. But my requirement is I don't want this information. Just I want to see the here what we have the category. Reason wise, I want to see the sales. That is enough for me. Then normally what we will do, but we want to group up the information. If I want to see the sales now individually, what is the sales? One double sum. Okay, this is the average. Sum is 1491, something like that. Now, when I want to group this information, what we will do here itself, we will go to the pivot table. Uh, Region sales. Now, in this sense, what happened when we are grouping the information, it is sum of the value, sum of the sales for each region, and it is giving the information, right? Just here we have used the one call. The same operation will be performed when we are using the group by in the Power BI. Understood? Just it will group up the information. Now here you can group the information multiple columns also. Now for example, here you want to split by sales. Now here for each region we have different priorities and sales. Like this you can group the column by using the multiple columns also. What we are doing the same thing in Excel, we can do the same thing here. But what happen after doing that steps, only those columns will be available in this particular data set. Now we'll come to the orders. We'll do the same thing. Now I want to group by using, first we will do the with the region and later we will add that one also. Just click on here, group by. See, now it is asking for me basic region because here I am taking only one for now. Later we'll see advanced in the sense multiple option like earlier in case we seen, right? First we have taken the region, later we have added the priority also. Now just I am taking the basic. Now I want to group by region because I have clicked on this particular column, right? So it is automatically identified. Now the new one here, what the name is asking, that is this name. Here it is automatically identified, right? Sum of sales. Here we need to enter like sum of sales. Here it will ask for the operation what to perform. Here it is automatically identified as this is the numbers. So it is automatically taken as the sum of sales. Here also we need to do the same. Here I am taking the sum and here we need to select which one we want. We want the sum of sales, right? Here operation I have taken as sum. Here I am taking the sales. Now when you click on OK, see the same information before here. Got it? The same what we have done here, the same information is coming. Now when you have clicked the data model, right, only this table will be reflected in the end because here we have grouped the information like this is the data source which we are loading. Finally we have grouped out. Only this information is loaded when you click on close and apply. Only this information is loaded into the Power BI model. Understood? This is the group by. Will perform group by the multiple columns also. Any doubts in this? Okay, then I will do the group by what we have done here, priority wise. Again, you can no need to go for first step and everything. Directly, you can click on this gear icon, click on advanced. Now we have taken only region at that time. Just add one more grouping, and you can select that particular column. Directly, it will happen. Now I am not taking any one more field because here we have taken only one field, right, for grouping the information like sales. Now I am not taking anything. Just I am grouping the information based on the two columns. That's it. See, for Ontario region, like we will filter based on this one so that it will be clear. See, for each region, these are the priorities and these are the sales. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we'll take one more also here, like the aggregation part. Here we have, I am taking profit, anything fine. Sum of profit. This is the profit you are getting, right? The same thing we can do here also. Just again click on this source setting icon. Just add one more aggregation. Here I want to see sum of profit, sum, just here the profit. Then automatically that also will be created. This is how the grouping work. This we can do this the same aggregation we can do by using the summarize function also after we loaded the data into the data model. But there we need to write the group by function summarize function. Here in the Power Query editor directly we have an option. Okay. Now here this is about.
So Nagendra, that group by function will provide only only agree numerical or whatever that things, or it will show all things.
No, no, it will show all the things. Now, here in my case, I have taken the sum of sales like that only, right?
Mhm.
You can take the count also. Like, see, let me delete these two. I will first explain the same thing in Excel. See, now if I want to see, I am taking this one also. Now, if I want to see how many rows for Atlantic, how many orders. Now, directly you can take this and you can put it as count, right? Then automatically what it will show for each region how many of the orders. This is what the information. Now here we have taken the count. The same thing here also you can do it. One second, let me
Okay, so
come.
whatever formula we use
Yeah,
to
yeah,
use
here, yes.
Excel,
Yeah, here
it
you
will be
can
fine.
perform the operation what you want. Like now in my cases, I have taken only the sum, right? You can take average, median, min, max, min, everything. Now we'll perform the same thing based on the region wise. I want to see count of orders. Whatever here you can enter the name what you want to see in the particular column. Now I want to count rows based on what happened on. Okay, it is because when we are taking the count rows in the sense directly it is taking, no need to enter the particular column because this completely table will come as the rows road. Anyway, the information will come same. Now see for Ontario it is 1826. If you want to do like aggregation, like you can go for average or anything. Now if I want to see average sales for everything, just click on average and you can select the average sales. Understood?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Here is a applied step where you used to remove all
Yes,
things.
yes,
There is
yeah.
a cross. So is it necessary for every time?
No,
we
no,
can
just
use.
instead of creating multiple steps, I am deleting, that's it. Normally in the real time we will keep on adding only, we will not delete it.
Okay, it will
In
remind us that whatever we step that we have followed, everything is there.
Yes, yes, yeah, it will be there. Now, let me do the same thing again. Just anyway, count. Okay, just I am taking the count by. Oh, sorry. Here we should not take by count by already. The region. Okay, see now until this step we have this complete information. But when I come to this step, right, that information is gone. But if you have deleted this step, right, the previous step will be available. Normally, in the real-time scenarios, you will go one by one only. Just for moving back to the information, you can direct. Otherwise, you can add in between step also. Now here I am grouping these rows, right? In between, before grouping rows and change a type, if you want to perform any action, you can directly do it. Now here, what we'll do? Just an example. Okay, just I am creating one custom column like just for order something like that. Just I am manually here I am not writing any DAX function also, just manual column. Here see, when you are doing any actions after the last step, it will not throw this warning. If you want to insert, when you are now this step is inserting middle between the change it after change it type before the grouped rows, right? So that it is asking to insert the step. Then just I am not giving anything also. Just we will make as upper. That's it. Here now whatever I am entering here, right? This is mquery functions. Okay, text dot upper. These are the mquery functions. Okay. Anyway, this one will not be helpful in the real time also. Only one or two. For that only we will not concentrate on this one. In the real time also, all the options we have here, right? We can do directly that one. But when you are creating this custom column, then only the mquery language will be helpful. Otherwise, everything will be created in the backend. Now here what I am doing, just I am region, I am converting to the upper characters. See, now this is great. Now see here, in this change it, step, I don't have that new column. When I click on here, it will have. Okay, but when I click on this group address, right, we are not using that particular column. If you want here, you can directly use it, the upper column. Earlier it is not shown, right? Now it is showing because the step is added before the grouped rows. If we have added that grouped rows after that, that upper character after the grouped rows, then you are not able to use this in the previous steps. So that's why we need to follow step by step in the apply steps when we are doing any actions. Okay. Now, okay, we have used the group rows, and this is about the data type. Here, when you click on this data type, and even when you click on this particular column and right click, then this single click, you will also get the same options what we have here. Okay, we'll go by one. Now, in this case, it is automatically identified as whole number. If you want to convert to any other data types, you can directly change it. Now, I am changing to decimal number. It is directly will take as decimal number, and here we have given the what option, direct decimal number, because it will automatically identify if there is one digit decimal number, it will come two digit. Then what is this fixed decimal? In the sense we need to provide the number of characters, like it will directly take as 2 fixed decimal. Earlier, when we click on the decimal number, right, at that time, when we are taking the data source from the data, we don't have any decimals for this number, so it is not there. Only if it is available, it will come. Now, when we have used the fixed decimal number, right, automatically it will identify that. Whole number is just normal whole number. You can, here it is seeing, right. Now, we are already in the change step. When you are changing the data type, it is throwing warning like replace current or add new step. Now in this step, if you have seen this one, here we have the order type we have taken as currency type, like the fixed decimal. Now, when I click on, I am changing that into whole number. It is asking me replace current, in the sense the existing step will be replaced. If you want to add the new step will be added. Now here in the changer type 2 we have as whole number. In the changer type 1 we have as fixed decimal number. You can change like that also. That is just a warning where you want to replace the step or you want to insert the new step. Now remaining is like the percentage. When you are doing any percentages, you can directly change it to percentage. Date and time, here we have this only date, right? In some cases we will get the time also for that, you if you want to do. Now in this case we don't have the time, right? If I have converted that 2 into date and time, it will automatically add the 12 hours, because here we don't have the time, so that's why it is doing like that. Now think that if I have got the information already date and time, but in our report we want to only have the date, right? Then we will go for the date. See, it is again me asking to change the data type. I am just replacing, because instead of creating the multiple steps, here itself I am replacing, then automatically this step will be done. Next thing, here the time. When we have the in the column, if we have the date and time, if you want to only have the time, then you can directly click on time, then the date will be skipped, only the time will be there. And this is about the date time zone. See, it is automatically identified as India time zone and it is giving me plus 530, like this.
So here we don't have undo option by mistake, for
Yeah, that
example.
is what you can delete this step now.
Okay.
Okay, now this is duration, like that only formatting, and this is the text. It will come as text. Now this is the text, right? Just it will take as text. True or false, in the sense like the binary one, like true or false. It will come as zeros and ones. Okay, this one is binary, like JSON, something like here. See, when I click on this binary, that information will be stored in the binary format, and you can expand it. Now when I click on this combine files, it evaluate that one. Normally, when we load the CSV files or something like that, no, then automatically the binary will be identified. Then we can change it. Here, anyway, we don't have any information. Normally, binary, in the sense it will store like the JSON files or something. I think I have the JSON file. I will tell you how to extract the information from the JSON. Here, this is locally means, for example, this one only, and I have the date format like month, date, month, year. If you want to change the date, month, year to month in year, like based on the country, for each country it will follow different formatting, right? For that you can click on use locally. It will show up list of the countries and the formatting types. See, now here this is the data. Now this is the date I want to do, and you can convert based on the region, the country format. Automatically it will give the result. Okay, you can select whatever you want. Now in this case I am leaving blank, like English India itself. This is the one. Okay, this is the one thing, and use headers we'll see. Now here I have, when I click on this left icon, I am getting these options. For example, if I click on particular this and I click on right icon, see, you are getting these multiple options. What we have here, most of them will be here itself, like group by. Uh, Fill, in the sense like replace something, we'll see that. Now here we have seen the remove already. Copy, in the sense it will create copy and it will paste it. Now just I am creating copy, that's it. Now remove, in the sense it will remove earlier, which we have seen, remove other columns other than this column, everything will be removed. Duplicate column, in the sense it will create one more column with the same thing, order date, duplicate copy. Now add column from examples. This is custom column. Once we come here, right, the same option, column from examples. That option I will explain when we come to this tab. Here remove duplicates. It will remove the duplicates. Remove errors. Earlier we seen, no, here when we click on the remove errors, only those two are deleted, like that. Now here the change type, the same options which we have seen now, the data types changing. And here when you come to here, okay, here when we are in the date, no, it is asking like here you can extract it quarter directly, you can extract it from the date instead of writing the dax function or here directly. If you want to see year from this particular one, directly we can transform year, directly it will create the year for that. Extracted here is the step which was created. Okay, now I am here. Okay, just I am deleting this step for previous one. Transform. Okay, this is about the just transformations only, but when you are in the text, right, it will be somewhat different. Now see, it is asking me to lowercase, uppercase, capitalize, clean JSON. JSON, how it will use is like normally JSON, how it will look. I think I already loaded information here.
డూప్లికేట్స్ కన్ఫర్మ్‌గా డిలీట్ చేయాలా?
డూప్లికేట్స్ రిమూవ్ అంటే మనకి అది రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ప్రకారం.
అంటే అదే
ఇప్పుడు
కొన్ని
మనకి
సార్లు
ఏదైనా
సేమ్
కొన్ని
డేట్స్ ఉంటాయి గదా!
కేసెస్‌లో
ఆ!
ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యూనిక్ కీస్ అలాంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మనం లోడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే డూప్లికేట్స్‌ని అలో చేయకూడదు కదా! అంటే మన క్లయింట్ చెప్తాడనమాట. వీటిలో డూప్లికేట్స్ అనేది ఉండవు. అలాంటప్పుడు మనం యూనిక్ కీ కాలమ్ ద్వారా ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని దాని మీద మనం డూప్లికేట్స్ అనేది రిమూవ్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు మన
అలాగేనండి. ఇప్పుడు డేట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సంథింగ్ 2 ఆర్డర్స్‌కి సేమ్ డేట్స్ ఉండొచ్చు గదా!
2 ఆర్డర్స్‌కి సేమ్ డేట్ ఉండొచ్చు. మనకు
ఆ!
నార్మల్‌గా ఆ డేట్‌లో ఎన్ని ఆర్డర్స్ అని ప్లేస్ అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు. కానీ సేమ్ ఆర్డర్ కొన్ని కేసెస్‌లో ఏంటంటే డూప్లికేట్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంటాయి గదా! అలాంటప్పుడు మాత్రమే మనం డూప్లికేట్స్ రిమూవ్ చేస్తాం. నార్మల్‌గా అయితే రిమూవ్ చేయము.
ఓకే.
ఏదైనా యూనిక్ కీ ఫాలో అవుతున్నప్పుడు మనం అలా చేస్తాం.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
ఓకే. జేసన్‌ది ఒకసారి నేను ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడో లోడ్ చేసినట్లున్నాను ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. వన్ బై వన్ వెళ్దాం. టేబుల్‌లో నేను జేసన్ ఫార్మాట్ లోడ్ చేశాను ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కోసం. ఇక్కడ జేసన్ ఏం లేదు. నెక్స్ట్ ఎంప్లాయీస్. Yeah, this is the JSON. Normally JSON file will be look like this, right? In the browser itself, here we have only one column, but here they have stored the multiple information. Like here in the it is showing OS is the no, one second, open value it. Normally this is the JSON. For this one here, for this ID one, this is the information and column name is browser itself, but inside that we have multiple columns again, they have stored in the JSON format. Now whatever the information is available here is OS, that is one column, that is his Mac name, resolution and everything is there. And here we have one more JSON inside the JSON. This is the top level JSON. Inside that again we have created, right? Then in this like this also you will get the information when you are taking like this. At that time how we need to handle this one, because we need to split this information, right? We'll load this information again. Here I haven't load the events table. No, I am loading that table. Normally when we are doing in the SQL level, we have the direct column like direct function JSON extract, then automatically we do it. If we want to do the same thing in Power BI, how to do? Now see, we have only 5 rows. Now click on here, right click, go to transform JSON. See, now this information is recorded. Okay, now you want to expand this columns. What do you want to record? Now see this symbol. Earlier it is like the filter icon, right? Now it is asking me to expand. Now when I click on this one, the step is also created like passed JSON. Now when you click on this, earlier we have seen this 3 columns only, right, in the value editor. These 3 column names like OS, name and resolution. Inside that resolution again we have it. Now see this, here it is showing. Now when I have used if you want to take all these columns you can use it. If you want to take only OS name, then you can go for it. Now in this case I am taking everything, and this one is the sense like use column name as prefix. Now in this case I am not Just I am unchecking this information and I am loading this info. See, now these three columns created by OS, name and resolution. Inside resolution, we have two more, right? For that, it is showing again as record. Here we have X and Y. Now when I click on this, now I am using this column. See the naming convention. Now earlier when I used this one, OS name only coming. Now I have checked this option, right? Normally what we need to get when we click on OK, X and Y. Now I have used this option, right? See how it will come. Resolution dot and resolution Y. That is the option it is showing. Like use the column name as prefix. You understood how to parse the data from the JSON when we are getting the information format as JSON. Then how we need to do the same option is available for XML also here. See, for example, if we go to here, we have the XML option also, but we don't have any XML data for now. I have used the JSON. The same option will be available for even the XML also. Understood? Any doubts in this session, today's session?